It's the philosopher, field philosopher, sincere seer sighted, to near tighten heart without. The ear would be insufficient enough for the height. The lower heights with the before the 8's to 9, in between the end and the E. New light year resolutions to just solutions that eliminate the rhetorically, orbital for the obliterated. 5 stars of one mic just to stand up to the enemy. The bully to read the red that this flag's wrong. Singled out of the paraphrase out to be quoted. Inexpensive is the pen to write the cheap words to expand theirs to higher. Paper chase of the trees that was from the farm raised without morals to bliss the breathing before it was just photosynthesis for the kinfolk to a napkin to the kindred with the dreaded to weave in and out of the forest and seeking fleet. The rest of the numbers are described to forever. Scribbled a blank notepads to the ghetto for the backyards that sell out of carbon stock monoxide pride for the prejudice of the predecessors. DC's the least to buy, then the only receipt for the reciprocity for the breadth, the town, the country. Promiscuous enough for the subliminal thinking habit stepper. Hashtag culture for the adaptation, the tantrums of the tandem poles. Total poles of polar opposites that attract themselves as one. Singular thought to dig yourself out of the buried heart. Press Oprah Winfrey do win instantly instead of that when dead Instagram weighs out the scale of the kale garbage patch kids future for the rappers that are slightly used and reduced and induced labor for the laws of the statute to the pillars to peel off of the streets of the skin marks. Rubber burn, careless to try the careless. Engine out of the body for the damage without assurance and inevitable for the innovating of the innocent. Accidents, domino effect, the premium. Lifestyles of the rich and the harness in front of the tears of the confronted for the con man, for the con man, con air man. To the comment, the non-drums to the beating and the riding king, the head nod gently out of the socket for the naked. Next to the necklaces without the neglect to negligence and the landering and the lingering of the lingerie for the wardrobe, the piece by piece of the rave for the air off the airplane sight. To see on top the skyscrapers to peel off for the horizon. It was more for the horrors, the eyes, the horrible race and the racism that race to finish lines without the peers to dick. Periodically for the pansexual play the panic of what's to panned out the beef. And still of the stagnant to the stage fright for this to freight the elevator for the L's to vape the liquid smoke for the Lul's mirrors imagine for the witchcraft that to find a narrative the nieces the naive for the native for the natural naive enough for the natural wonders of the Stevens insight for the pluralized baptism for the watered down the staff for the John last name bat trans down to go out of style for the time it's fashionism fast gaslighting of the storm eyes that put the witness in the news of the storylines of the obtuse anchor man's occurrence of this drift over for the riffs the ripples stood over the wave of goodbye. Surely shorelines to contradict the river for the contractors to straight out the moon. 90-degree angles to the climate change their minds just the weather but not the knots the wind will determine for the detriment. Determination for the nations that will depart. Contractions to the likeness of the just judge. This is not for the just and the spirit for the witness of the Jewish and the errors of the enemies of the outer. Field catching your mistake for the beef to common ground for the supplanting of evidence of the vegans and the girls out of the category for the lisagoric. It's gloriously appetizers for the app that would expedite your appealing to the ply to the app of the lie. On her hand alive with the witch laid the doormat for this door matching the door for the doorbells to liberate you to elite the elation of the later fester for the supper for the question of the greetings and what's up the clouds to decide to water it down the seasons to flavor your spring your tongue. Tired taste buds that turn sour in the end, like patch kids that sweeten the jawline have ordered to speak out the sweet nothings to the ears of the death of poets.
These were pathways I took, not knowing what lied ahead. I trusted you.
The one and only.
Hey
It's
guys,
number one. The one
Heaven
and
brought me.
only.
Heaven
It's
taught me.
number one.
Heaven bought
The
me.
one and only. It's number one.
Feeling was less high,
The one that won the world.
more glad. But I hope she gets me. So we can get this party started finally. Alleys that all lead to the streets that are watching. Big brother was watching you, watch out for the watch to risk. This is suicide, not town for them I'm from, for the to and fro. Coming and going from where to choose and not chosen after yet to go for the where I please and will to be pleased. This is where I went to place, this will be the please, and this place is for the place of the boundaries of the bind. Heaven brought me. Heaven taught me. Heaven bought me. Feeling was less high, more glad. But I hope she gets me. So we can get this party started finally. Alleys that all lead to the streets that are watching. Big brother was watching you, watch out for the watch to risk. This is suicide, not town for them I'm from, to and fro. Coming and going from where to choose and not chosen after yet to go for the where I please and will to be pleased. This is where I went and placed. This will be the please, and this place is for the place of the boundaries of the bind. And the binders are for the vendors, and this is shapeshifters for your 8-wall circus 10 to the burlesque bar. BQ for this acute. For Arby's and roasting the need for the beef for this fast food fights that drive through. Drive by and passing out bull. Let's aim the bully. That's the bull. The shit of Bill of Rights. This is wrong. Us the people for the wringing out towels dry, this is die. The tetherball, reports this dick show of who's biggest loser will win this fucking week show of case this you missed the sitcom, but the quiet and nothing inside of your mind and man. Mind business, the minds of the code, for the firepower, for the energy, for the energy. Lit, lead, this is LED, for this is from the front, for the test, for the LA in that la 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 song, this is lit. To hummingbirds that forgot lyrics that can't be changed for the instantaneously tips. Laid out spontaneous, a sponsorship that responds to ponder. One is the about careless, caressing that notes this same from the paper airplanes and flies, voicemails, mail. It's renting and codes to zip up that from the top down to the bottom to the buttocks, this tick-tack. Tick clocks, the jocks that scratch your itch, the DJ acronyms to act out. Rounds of M to emblem, or imitate the inmates, the discreet secrets of the secreting, credits to editing. Tell a team or two about the timeline for the two. About the blood clock. This is not box, the beating of the beatbox, the battle for the Los Angeles homies without the homes. You seek asylum as if the lumps of Charlie Chocolates. This is insubordination for the non-integral, for the interrogation for the integration of discretion, not for the description, for the scribe and scrolls of this is Skrilla. For the dealers of the donuts and out of the draw out the air like the ball monitoring over the ring of balls for all that's the players. And this is monitor for the monster cock out the rooster over the hot sauce. This is taco without talk about showing up with the beef and soft teeth. This is Chewbacca chewing gumptions of forest bubble shrimp shriveling into the embarrassed harassment to see walk by like a drum set to beat. Myself the headphones to calm. Your number and memory to remember the redundant dunce. Hats to Futterruckers, the occasions, the Caucasians that won't combine the binary state to chuck up. All stars here for the slam, polar bull pose. This is polar opposites, the article for the Arctic ice sheets, the breaking up the beat breaks. Lunch table for the periodic table, the elements, and this is the honor. Elegantly for the gently gents, this is redundant enough for the Genesis sisters, for the wood disciplinary, for the handouts and after hand job. Retirement fund is fundamentally challenged to chalk the bodies. So this is city for the Atlantis and Georgia for the Atlanta. To Alan Watts, this is riots. Slanter Alan Watts up Grape Street juice boxes with the glove bear. This is knuckle for the chemical. Sandwich the mental machine. What you mean metal for the metal music? This is metal hearts. Metal medallions, medieval times, the Renaissance, this is say the ounce. In the spring to child support, the biggest money maker of bread, yo. P out the Pee-wee, Herman conflict, confused the panels and glove box departments. Comparisons to the compassion, past this computing for the commune. Communications and comprehension for the compressor, for the compressed, completely installed for still stalling. Installments to the layaway Kmart blue light days to be set off and set off the cast. This is a case of this brief report, this result. Restoration, recovery, the centers in the center for the shopping centers, and you find was all centered off. Not as though it was the sand. Insinuating something otherwise. Maybe simply otherwise. As simple as that. Or this. Where I am that. Where I am that isn't too. I have to tell you too many times who I am.
You make me feel so spring this month, and every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I wanna go play.
Evan brought me.
I wanna go and find the moon. Just
Evan brought me. Evan brought me.
you and I
Heaven taught me.
are just like a couple of
Heaven bought me.
running across a meadow.
Till it was less high. More glad. But I hope she gets me. So we can get this party started finally. Alleys that all lead to the streets that are watching. Big brother was watching you, watch out for the watch-tourists. This is suicide, not town for them. I'm from for the to and fro. Coming and going from where the choosing not to chosen after yet to go for the where I please and will to be pleased. And this is where I went and placed this to be the lead. And this place is for the place of the boundaries of the bind, for the binders, for the vendors. And this is shapeshifters for your AWOL Circus tent. 10 to the burlesque bar, BQ for this acute. For Arby's roasting the need for the beef for this fast food fights that drive through. Drive by and passing out bull, let's aim at the bully for that's the bull. The shit a bill of rights, this the wrong, us the people. Ringing out towers, drive this die. The tide, the tetherball, courts this dick show of who's biggest loser will win this fucking weak show of case. This you missed the sitcom, but the quiet and up the side of your mind and man. Mind the business, the minds of the code, for the firepower, for the energy, for the energy. Lit, lead, this is LED, for this is from the front to the Tesla, for the LA in that la song, this is lit. To hummingbirds that forgot lyrics can't be changed for the instantaneously tips. Laid out spontaneous and sponsorship that responds. To ponder. One is really about careless, caressing that notes this same for the paper airplanes, the flies, voicemails, mail. Surrendering codes to zip up that from the top down to the bottom for the buttocks, just tick and tack. Tick clocks, jocks that scratch, itch to DJ acronyms to act out. Rounds of M to emblem, or imitate the inmates, the discreet secrets of the secret, secreting, credits to editing. Tell a team or two about the timeline for the two. About the blood clot, this is not box, the beating of the beatbox, the battle for the Los Angeles homies without the homes. Seek asylum as if the lumps of Charlie Chocolates. This is insubordination for the non-integral, for the interracial. Interrogation for the integration of discretion. That for the description, for the scribe that scrolls. This is Skrilla. For the dealers of the donuts and out of the draw of the air like ball monitoring over the ring of balls for all the that's the players. So this is monitor for the monster cock up the rooster over the hot sauce. This is taco without. Talk about showing up with the beef and soft teeth. This is Chewbacca. Chewing gumptions of forest bubble shrimp shrivel into the embarrassed harassment to see walk by like a drum set to beat. Myself the headphones to calm. Your number and memory to remember the redundant dunce.